So I would request Ms. Hafsa Batul to introduce you formally and introduce the webinar formally.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another session of Science Chronicles. We are so glad to have you join us for what promises to be a fascinating and insightful session. This webinar is organized by IPKI in collaboration with the EcoScience Foundation. For those of you who are new here, the EcoScience Foundation is a specialized agency of the Economic Cooperation Organization, an intergovernmental entity with 10 member states, including Afghanistan, Azerbaijan, Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, Turkey, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. Its mandate is to promote science, technology, and innovation among the ECO member countries. IPKI is an organization committed to making the world a better place by promoting science education, fostering intellectual curiosity, and bridging gaps in access to quality learning opportunities. In today's session, we turn our attention to the vital role of science communication and how it fosters public engagement with science, particularly through the lens of science museums. And to guide us through this important topic, we are joined by Dr. Ganigar Chen. Dr. Ganigar has been a part of the National Science Museum, Thailand since 2000. Beginning her career as a science educator and international relations officer, she has spent over 2 decades shaping museum education, public outreach, and science media in Thailand. As Vice President for Education, Outreach, and Partnership at NSM, she oversees the development of exhibitions, science festivals, television programs, and online science communication. She also leads national initiatives such as FAME Lab, the Young Thai Science Ambassador Program, and Science Idol, engaging young scientists and students in creative science communication. With her extensive experience and passion for civic science literacy, museum outreach, and inclusive science engagement, Dr. Ganigar is uniquely positioned to offer valuable insights into how science museums can serve as dynamic platform for public science engagement. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Ganigar Shen.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank first IPKI and EcoSF for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all, and it's great to have a chance to meet you all. Actually, I think most of us who are here understand the importance of science, and more or less, you know that science is a subject that we would like to get more people involved. Although, frankly speaking, sometimes science seems to be a little bit difficult and complicated and not that fun. Therefore, what we are going to discuss today is something we probably have a shared value, the importance of science. And then how do we make science more interesting for the public and the science students or the future scientists, what we can do to make that happen in collaboration with the science museums. So what I'm going to talk today is about the science communication and why it matters, the type of science communication, and about our work in Thailand, National Science Museum in communicating science, and of course, the role of young scientists in science communication. Well, I would say science communication in a short term, a brief term, is a practice of sharing scientific information, findings, or concepts with non-expert audience. Okay, I think we have to emphasize that. It means science communication is how we're gonna tell the people who are probably have not much science background to understand or to be interested or to be able to follow certain concept of science. And this communication should be in clear, accurate, and engaging way. Please remember these 3 words: clear, accurate, and engaging. That's the key. Okay. Well, but why it's so important? because science communication will make science accessible, understandable, and more relevant to people. Very often, the public, the youth, have no idea why they have to know science. It's not in their daily life, but is that true? So, science communication will help, to empower the public to understand this, but we have to make it accessible and understandable. And the second key important of science communication is that it helped to bridge the gap between experts, scientists, researchers, and the public. Well, in bigger picture, why science communication matters? Because it helps to promote, democracy and informed citizens. It means if we want the citizens to be able to decide, to make decision, and to choose what they think is the proper thing for them, for their future, for the sustainability, we need to communicate science. Okay, so that the public decision making can be more data driven, more rely on science based in decision on, for example, on the issue of climate change, health, or technology. Today, very often, the general public make decision just because many people say so, or maybe they do not want to pay attention to it at all because they feel like it's not related to them, so they don't want to make decision, they don't want to choose which way to use energy, which way to treat their health. But with science communication, we can empower the public to have a to be able to have their own decision. Okay, and with current situation nowadays, science communication will help fighting misinformation, fake news, promote critical thinking. And further than that, good science communication, constant, regularly, will help to promote scientific literacy of the society and also help the public to understand and value science.
Excuse me, Dr. Ganigar. Uh,
Yes.
are you changing the slides also, because we cannot see the slide changes?
Oh, right. I changed the slide, but it doesn't change, right? Okay, let me stop and share one more time. Okay. I think I should not use slideshow in my part.
Yes, I think it is showing at your end, but you
Uh-huh.
can just manually go to next slide and then next slide.
Right, I think it's better. So you see my slide now? Can you see my slide now?
Like we can see yes, but this is the first one. We have been
Okay.
constantly watching the first slide. So now if
All
you
right.
try going to
Okay.
the next.
How about this one? Does it move?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great.
Now we
Yeah,
can see the
I'm
change.
sorry. Thank you for letting
It's
me
okay.
know. Okay. Yeah.
Welcome.
Okay. So oh, you missed a few points. No, I think it should be okay. So this is
No,
what
it's your
I
exposition was clear.
okay. Yeah. So we are here at why science communication matters. Okay. And last but not least, but what we need most in our society, for our economic um, in the future, is to have more people in science career, okay, in STEM um, workforce. Therefore, science communication also will promote new young people to pursue the career opportunities in science. Okay. Well, I think you can see now that why we need science communication. But let's talk about, like, different type of science communication. Actually, science communication can be rather formal, like lecture or classes, where schools or universities run classes. That is considered as a science communication. But nowadays, due to the change of the um, mode of education, there are more choices for people. So informal context in learning become more and more important. For example, museums, which now is very important learning venue for the public. Anyone from very young, to very old can enter museums. Okay. Documentaries, movies in science and social media become the important mode of science communication. And of course, mass communication, for example, news, podcasts, and YouTube, which reach even wider audience, is also another growing area in science communication. Let's take a look at some of them. Um, these are some example of the, I would say, informal science communication, science magazines, science program, or museum like us. Okay. Then what is a science museum? Okay. Science museum uh, has a long time development. Okay. In the old day, museum may be a place that collect things, from the past, or show the collection of someone's favorite. But as time goes by, those collection uh, become the source of knowledge, and people do research about those collection. It could be antique, art piece, or it could be specimen from nature. And then from those research, museums realize that we need to show this to the public. Okay. And not only show it to the public, but museums should make it useful to the public, which means that museums start to be the education place for the public, telling the story of those knowledge from past to present and perhaps the future. So I can say that museum, especially science museums that we are going to talk about today, is an institutions that collect, display, and interpret scientific knowledge. Now come to our museum. Okay, this is the complex of a National Science Museum in Thailand. I really wish you all can visit us someday in the future. We are governmental, and in our complex, we have 4 museums that are in service now. So the first one, which looks like a cube, that is the Science Museum. We call it Q building, okay? And we always ask our visitors when they visit, how many cubes do you think, it's on this building? Okay, I let you guess. Okay. The interesting thing is that this is also an science and technology design building. So you see that the building stand on its angle, okay, which
Yeah.
they have to bear very heavy weight. Okay. 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 So the second one is the Natural History Museum. Not so big, not as big as in Pakistan, but is also tell a story about biodiversity in Thailand. And we have Information Technology Museum, which is tells about digital technology, and then Ramana Ecology Museum. And in the coming future, this year, we are going to open a new museum called Futurium. Okay. In addition to that, we have three satellite venues called Science Squares and also Science Caravan. I'll show you more detail later. Okay. Okay. So this is our science museum. It's not very big, but it's a modern science museum with a lot of hands-on exhibits. You know, you can play with it. The beautiful thing about a museum is that everything is touchable, and you can say you can play with everything in there because we want you to try, you know, to experiment some scientific phenomena in the museum. Okay. And the second one, the Natural History Museum, as I said, it's not very big, but it's important because we try to explain how uh, important is biodiversity and what are the animals and plants that should be preserved in our country. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, and this is our IT museum. Uh, it includes a story of information technology, uh, internet, and then with the advancement to robotic and AI. Okay. And of course, this is our newest one. It's called the Ramanai Museum, which is on ecology. We try to demonstrate how human and nature live in harmony together. Our Ramanai Museum actually named after our past king who proposed the theory of sustainability and self-sufficiency. So that's why we want to show that if we live with sufficiency theory in mind, you know, human and nature can live together with sustainability. Okay. The interesting thing about this museum is that we show what we call different eco-regions of the world. So we show the desert area, we show the Arctic and Antarctic area, tropical area. So when you come to this museum, it will be like you go travel around the world within one day. Okay. Okay, this is going to be our newest museum opening this year. This one would be a little bit different from others because it will showcase the current and upcoming industry and innovation that we need to use in this industry. But these innovation also need to consider, you know, ways that humans have to live with more sustainable life. Therefore, innovation, although it will improve a lot of things, you know, improve the quality of life, but also you also have to consider the issue of sustainability in this innovation. Uh, this is the building. It looks like infinity. Well, that's what what we believe. And in the exhibition will cover what we call innovation world, 7 galleries. Okay, that would be gallery about transportation, gallery about disaster management, gallery about biotechnology and nanotechnology, gallery about space technology, and etc. Okay, it would be fun, and I think this will inspire and connect, okay, science, technology, engineering, and how we could drive the economy, you know, in the future with this knowledge. Okay. The special thing about this museum is not only the exhibition, but also um, job world or 27 STEM careers experience. So we talk about those, you know, 7 we call industry sectors, But at the same time, we need a lot more workforce in this industry. Therefore, we would like to showcase the young generation, the youth, that there are opportunity in STEM careers. You can be a different thing like a data analyst, space engineer, or you can do something on uh, smart farms, or even to be um, the one who are designing the plant gene, or we call plant genetic specialist. So there are so many opportunities in science, in STEM career in the future. It's not just wearing a lab gown, but there are a lot of meaningful work of scientists and engineer to help supporting the future society. Okay. Um, these are some of the activities, in our museums. You can see that the students, the visitors can do a lot of hands-on thing. The one on the left-hand side is a photo of some young girl students. Trying to make rocket and try to launch it. So it's very fun. It's some of we call it our maker area. Okay. But and the one in the middle is experiment on forensic science.
Yeah.
Okay. So and on the right corner, on the upper right corner, is some engineering design that can make things move. We call automata, which is also can be toys, and actually is a basic of all the robot. Okay. So you can see that science museum can be so fun and so interesting. Okay. Okay. In addition to that, we have a mobile unit going all over the country with mobile exhibitions, bringing those exhibition and activities to a smaller province. The nice thing is that these mobile unit, whenever we go, we will have science students like you to be the volunteer, to be the explainers, to help communicate science to these students, to make science fun, and then to make science accessible. So our volunteers are very important when we go doing outreach like this. Okay. Right. Let me. Okay. And these are some of the activities we bring along with our science caravan. Okay. It's a pop-up exhibition, that everyone can interact. Another activity that we are very proud of is our National Science Festival, but we call it in Thai National Science and Technology Fair, which we um, join with many agencies in science, in arts, in environment, display all the science engagement activity in one place, 40,000 square meters. And in about 10 days, we have 500,000 students coming. It's the biggest size event in Thailand. And it's a wonderful opportunity for scientists and science students, to communicate their knowledge to these young students. Okay. This one on the left, we work with university. We call it the animal science department. They have lots of bones, and then therefore we curate together some interesting exhibition on bones. That's some example. Okay. Well, in science museum, we don't only have exhibition. We also have all sort of science communication activity. This one is called Science Show. And you see that interesting show, performed by our science show performer. It's on liquid nitrogen and state of matters. Okay. And SciShow can be created even by students like you. So I think maybe if you are interested, you can learn how to make SciShow and do science engagement. Okay, this is a science lab program that we organized. It's not a science lab like you are doing in your laboratory, but it's more like getting public to have that feeling and to have that understanding of science experiment. Okay, so uh, the students are the young kids are very proud that they can wear sometimes the gown, the lab gown, and then do experiment with their parents. Okay. Okay, and of course we run science camp, on several themes. Uh, eh, in one year we run almost 30 to 40 science camp. This is the example of the camp, which I think, yeah, you can do it in any country. We call junior naturalist. This camp uh, engage the young students to investigate, the ecology nearby their school, their house. But we have the scientists, okay, we call natural scientists, to join and help to explain, the thing they find in the nature. Okay. Uh, I like to go to this one because I understand that for many of you who might do science, uh, I think the most important thing that science students and the future scientists should help to contribute not only in research but also on trying to communicate your research to the public. This one you can see that we have researchers, from real researchers doing some talk with the young generation. And this year is a special year. We run a talk on miracle of polar. So we have 10 researchers, Thai researchers, who have been to do research in the Antarctica, come to talk to our Thai students. Okay, so I think if you can gather researchers on particular area, you can do a special theme on science communication, and this one you can do it like monthly, with a big campaign for annual event. To continue on that, okay, we also do some live broadcasts from Antarctica, talking to Thai students. This lady is a Thai scientist who are there. So she show some photo of the animal there. They are all very cute. But she also point out that even in the polar area that we thought it would cover with ice, with snow, now they change. The area has changed, and the scary thing is that all the ice is melting. So we all have to realize or be aware that climate change is not just a word, but it's something is really happening. Okay. Okay. Other thing that we think that is wonderful is a makerspace, which is related to engineering and design. This one, it probably different from science lab because we focus on creativity and the skill of making. Sometimes we have ideas, but we don't know to put those how to put those ideas into something concrete. Makerspace is allow whoever has idea to make things really happen into a piece, into an invention. uh, so I think it's important for the next generation, when they have idea, they have to be able to learn how to make it happen. Okay. More advanced maker space or maker activity is a activity like this one. For example, once you are good at making, at technology, you can make robot, you can make can satellite, you can make rocket. uh, so maker is a basics of more advanced technology, more advanced skill in technology and engineering. Of course, because we focus on hands-on, and we would like to. Oh, sorry. Oops. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We would like to focus on problem solving, on the scientific process. So at NSM, we try to encourage science project, contest science project competition in several subjects. Okay, because this is one of the best way to train young generation to do project-based learning and to learn how to solve problem. Okay. Right, those are activities. Now let's continue with some of the interesting thing on science communication, which is making media. Okay, at NSM we have program called Science Delivery, which we make several science program online. Okay, we have a program called Specimen Show, and to make it more relevant, we have yoga on the wild side. We have Green World. We have museum tour. So I think nowadays this program, is uh, interesting for new generation. Okay, and also easily to access. One thing I would like to encourage, because today science communication for young people, not only through uh, short clips, Instagram, but it's also popular in podcast. Okay, so at NSM we have um, two podcasts. One is called Science Cloud, which tells science news, in what is going on, what is new this week. Okay, and another one, another program will focus on nature, but it's a nature that we are always curious about. For example, this podcast, okay, try to explain why sometimes you see snake eating its tail, what it means, why they do like that. Okay, and if you come to Thailand before, you will know that we are so famous for shrimp, shrimp eating, and there are particular place where people like to go to eat shrimp. So we tell the story why you have to go to eat shrimp at that location, at that province, why it's better than the shrimp in other province. So this is about nature, but of course it's not like only the way of nature, but it's how we um, see nature and curious. Okay, yeah, right. We also have online laboratory program, to reach out to children in a remote area, who cannot come to the museum. Okay, and also some science media, like this is a maker's lab box, and then chemist science lab box, and then you see these are science popular book. Actually, these books are based on scientific research, but instead of published only as a scientific book, we want the public to be able to enjoy it. So we make it as a photo book, and then give some scientific information together with the general information. So it's very successful because both scientists and general public can enjoy these books together. Okay. Well, um, I almost go to my last few slides, but in terms of science communication, there are more interesting things, more challenging thing happening all the time. So the most challenging thing now is to communicate the science that is not that is conceptual. For example, frontier science. Okay, uh, story of, for example, AI. How do you make people understand its concept? How do you make people understand how it works? It's not easy. And how do you make people be ready to use it with good literacy? Okay, so this is the work of science communication. You have to simplify the difficult or more complicated science into something easy to understand and then interactive, so that people will not be scared of it or feel bored of it. Okay, so this is one of the example. Or even the career in STEM, very often we know that it's important, but how can we make people understand STEM career? Okay, these are scientists who work in the lab, so we make the career, okay, into more fun and accessible by young children, and even parents, because parents are important for the decision making of the children, how they would pursue career in the future. So we try to explain that there are various career in STEM. For example, pet psychiatrist. Have you heard about it? Pet. Nowadays people love to have cats or birds, but and sometimes they have to care for them. But then these animal, they have stress. So the new career currently popular is a pet psychiatrist. You see, scent designer, the one who design different smells so that they can add into the room, the hotel room, that kind of thing. It's also another STEM career. Optometrist who check your eyes, or cyber police. Okay, so this is the work we are doing at the museum to communicate complicate science and make it more fun. And last but not least, even the issue that is perhaps scary or depressing, the issue of climate change, we also trying to make it interesting, for the people. And this is an example of a story we talk about extreme life and on extreme land, and how we could try to work together to make sure that in many areas of this world will maintain the level of rain as much as possible. Okay. NSM also have many other exhibitions that we have done and collaborate with other museums in Thailand. We have a museum network, so we produce exhibition and send to them. For example, mosquitoes, okay, or biomimicry, or even aging society, reflection. And of course, what we value the most is the collaboration, because a lot of things we have to co-create. We have to learn from each other. And this is the work we are doing with Museum Network in Asia Pacific, and including EcoSF, who joined us last year on exchanging ideas on how we could use toys, traditional toys, to engage the public in science. Okay. Well, I almost ran out of time, but I think I would like to conclude that uh, the ecosystem of science communication, actually, there are several key players: scientists, educators, media, science museum, science centers, and government, of course. Okay. But then how museum fit in? What is our role? Okay. So we connect scientists with the public, okay? Connect those research to the public, translate complex research to accessible experience. We collaborate, we encourage all these collaboration, and we have various joint program with universities and research institute and schools. Museum could be a place for science communication. We can function as a place where public can engage, can come and interact, a place for lifelong learning, a community building, gather people together with the same interests, okay? We are the place where we inspire young people, and we offer interactive experiential learning experience, okay, through hands-on storytelling and demonstration. Okay, now what is the role of our future scientists? Okay, I hope that um, the future scientists or the future educators can have a communication as a skill. Try to get opportunity to get involved in science communication. Okay, get more collaboration with research centers or universities. See all the skills, not just add on, but competency. And if you could volunteer at museums and give public talks and write blogs or involve in using social medias, it would be great. Okay. And of course, trying to encourage this cross-discipline projects. Okay. To communicate science effectively is not only science, but it's an art and science. Okay. Why to be a science communicators in NSM we have several programs. For example, we have what we call SIT Talk or Science Inspired by Teen, which is a program for high school student learning in science communication, and then have a contest, okay, for them. So we have a national contest every year on SIT Talk, and we have Young Thai Science Ambassadors, which is for university students. And we have Junior Science Influencer Program, which is for primary school students. And also we encourage professional like writers, to join in our short science writing contest. So you can see that actually we all can engage in science communication in several ways at several levels. Okay, as I said, we have research show which get involved the scientists, the real scientists, to do the talk. Okay, they dress up, they bring their research work to the public. Okay, and last but not least, I hope that all the young scientists and young educator will keep networking and partnership with each other. Today we have a lot of global issues, and I think Science Museum and Science Learning Center can be part of the ecosystem to promote the public awareness and literacy. Okay, so my conclusion is science communication can bridge science and the society, and Science Museum will be the vital partners in this mission. And I hope young scientists will start engaging now. Visit Science Museum first, be volunteer, and share your science. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ganigar, for a wonderful presentation. And this was by far the best talks we had in the Science Chronicles webinar series. And our colleague, Ms. Hafsa, has got a lot of experience with pets, and maybe she can tell whether pets need a psychiatrist or not.
Oh, my cat definitely does need one.
So now, without further delay, before taking up the question and answers, I would request Ms. Hafsa to formally request to President ECUSF, Professor Tayyibi, for his remarks.
Yes, I would now like to invite Dr. Syed Kumail Tayyibi, President of the EcoScience Foundation, to share his remarks. Professor Tayyibi, the floor is yours.
Professor Tayyibi, Assalamu alaikum. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Yeah, do you hear me? All right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Ganigar.
Hello, thank you.
She explained, of course, about the importance of Science Museum. For your information, Imran, I visited two times of the NSM, National Science Museum, but it is not enough, has not enough to me. I have to go and to have further, it is actually a very big town in Thailand, and every part when you visit, just you enjoy it. And it is because of, as she explained, very thanks to her, Dr. Ganigar. This is, a very, as I said, big town, and for exhibition, for science exhibition, and of course for STEM education. It is very important to younger people, to students in different ages actually. And as we experience in our collaboration with NSM, we have done so far so experience, and we enjoyed of our collaboration with the with the NSM, of course. So thanks to Professor Ganigar Chen, who is our real partner for some activities, and we hope to do our collaboration, to continue our collaboration with NSM, of course, and thanks to IPKI and of course our ECOSF in this regard, our team. Actually, I believe, a science museum is a place and is a source which showcases the beauty of science. This is very important. Science museum often features hands-on exhibits of science. They help students, young people to understand complex scientific principles through. And I experience, I actually this at the NSN. For regarding my experience and regarding my visit the NSM National Science Museum for two times. Of course, as she explained, science museum can inspire young people to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. Totally STEM, education, STEM literacy in this respect. They are centers, such science museum like NSM, or the centers for learning, inspiration, and in engagement that play a key role in promoting, of course, scientific literacy and curiosity in society. So this presentation was very useful to us, interesting to, and I'm sure anybody just enjoyed, your presentation, Dr. Ganigar. Thank you very much for that. And we, of course, we are interested. We are going to have our collaboration in the future in different activity, as you just mentioned it during your presentation. Your presentation this today was actually a university to us to understand many things in this. And I recommend anybody, inshallah, in the future, hopefully to go and to visit NSF. This is very important, and as she said, of course, they have interconnection with the international institutions, with the international museum, and for the future, I think, and I believe there is a brilliant future for NSM for STEM education, STEM literacy. Thank you very much, and I hope to have more collaboration with you in the future.
Thank
And
you.
Ganigar,
Thank
I'm
you,
sure
Professor
I will
Daniel.
see you,
We'll
inshallah,
see you
hopefully
in
next
China.
month in
Yes,
China.
that's right.
Right.
In China. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Yes.
Yes. Well,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Professor
Mr.
Tayyuddin.
Imran Parvez Khan. Thank you for your collaboration and for your moderation, and also for your moderation. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And now I would request the participants, if they have any question, they can put in the chat, and they can also ask us to unmute themselves and ask a question. So meanwhile, participants can come up with their question. I would like to ask one question just as a participant. That Dr. Ganigar, you think that like mathematics, since my basic subject is mathematics, so bringing mathematics into science museum is, I think, difficult. What do you say? Because maths is on paper and there aren't. So what do you say?
Um, I think mathematics is so important, and it's a basic of daily life. It's even more perhaps it's even more relevant than science in some way. I mean, the basic mathematics. So I have seen museums with introducing mathematics in a simple the simple mathematics and advanced mathematics. And frankly speaking, with the advanced one, even though sometimes we cannot totally understand it, but uh, the museum can inspire people that these advanced mathematics has its own value and meaning. So for me, I think to answer your question, first of all, I think it's we should have mathematics or mathematic museums actually. Second, I think we should introduce mathematics in both basic mathematics. What I mean basic is that just subtraction and how do you call divided or something like that, or how do you call that, proportion, right? But also advanced mathematics like calculus and pi and square, that also need to be explained, not for people to immediately understand right away, but just for people to understand the conceptual why we need to know this, and if they see why it's important, how we use this knowledge of pi to calculate the size of the container or something like that, they will be less afraid of mathematics and see that its
Hmm.
value. Yeah.
Yes, like what I know that some museums in America or West do, that they create geometric models.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
the kind of effort that we need to do to bring mathematics into a museum is to make geometric models, to
Yes,
create
yes,
geometric
yes,
models.
yes, exactly. Yes,
And
right.
I think
Mhm.
the building of your one of the museums is basically a mathematical model, like three cubes, and I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think we with science and with mathematic models or with a lot of fact in science is always amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so there's one question in the chat, that how can science museums raise awareness about the drastic implications of modern weapons technology on humanity and global security?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. I think as it, first of all, we as a position of a science museum, we try to communicate what is the basic of technology and why this technology is developed. Okay, and what most of the technology is developed is for some purpose, right? For some solution. However, when we talk about the appropriateness of technology. Of course, we will have to go further to ethics. Even in science communication, there is an ethics in science communication that you should not give wrong information or um, you know mislead information, right? Of course, in research and in other thing as well, that you try to make sure that your application of science is used in a more positive way. But we have to accept, okay, that the fact is many advancement in science and technology was created by different purpose for different purpose and different motivation. When it was created, it doesn't mean it want to harm people, but sometimes it just a matter of protecting something. So it's a human choice, okay, whether or
Yes.
not we want to use it, right? Yeah. So I think Science Museum, our role is to make people think. We are not justify what is right or wrong, but our role is to make people think, in different way, and they have to use their own critical thinking to make appropriate judgment. Yeah. Do I answer
Right.
that? Okay.
I think it was a very difficult question, and you gave, I think, a very balanced answer, and that is how one should, approach science. And yeah, that was really a nice answer, and that is a nice approach to seeing science, a balanced approach. And I would like maybe Ms. Hafsa can ask something. Something must have come up in her mind. It was a very, arousing lecture. Ms. Hafsa, would you like to ask something?
Oh, it was such an insightful talk. I don't really have any questions, but it was, I think, the most fun talk that we have had on here.
Indeed. So,
Thank you.
since we are also, reached the end of time, so I would just, request Dr. Ganigar that, as you know, we have been, communicating over emails. So I have sent an email, and I would really like to take this further. And of course, like if doing an in-person activity might be difficult, but there are a lot of online avenues. So I was also thinking to invite Dr. Chanika here, but I think she would, later, of course, she can see the recording. So, like, for example, what I know that Pakistan also has a lot of, good science experts in many fields. So maybe they can, work as, you can invite them for online some lectures or some as resource persons. So I would just request that we continue our conversation over the email. I realize you are very busy, but I'm also in touch with your colleagues, like I think Dr. Asfahet, if I'm correctly pronouncing the name. So I would request that we continue our conversation on the email, because with brainstorming and discussion, I think we'll definitely come up with some activity which would help, benefit both the nations. And knowledge sharing is, I think, is very important for both the countries.
Yeah, I will be very happy to do that, and we can do some plan, so that my colleague can join in some of the talk in science, education, or in science communication as well, or in biodiversity. Okay, yeah, great.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, everyone.
I'm really glad to have this chance to share my experience with you all, and I wish you all the best, and hope that we will see more science communicators, from our audience in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your prayers.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye bye.